Now, that is the song I will resonate with, and that is the song that I will sing. Whenever I think of our fallen heroes, and whenever I think of our fallen comrades, those people who give their life for this freedom that we enjoy today here in South Africa. My name is Kgosi and welcome again to the Monday edition of Politics, Man. Right on Kgosi FM, coming to you live on www.kgosiefm.co.za. Coming to you live again on Radio Garden app. You go to App Store, you search Radio Garden, you find the Radio Garden app, and then you search Kgosi FM, and you will find us there. Coming to you live again on our old website, that clinic, www.segongane.co.za /Kgosi FM /. Kulawana, yes. Yes. And coming to you live again, the last live that I'm doing today, it's on Facebook, which is Kgosietsile Segongane. Like I said, that is the song that I can really resonate with. That's the song that I can sing. I remember when I was in how whenever we sing the first part, we will sing the first part and then we sit down on the second part. All of us. That was good. That was like, we are doing this ourselves. Welcome, gentlemen, ladies. So very much welcome. Thank you so very much for taking your time and your data to be with me today to come and talk to politics again on a Monday. I'm solo, as you can see. I'm the only one. I'm the only one in the studio. I'm giving you the best, man, the best of everything. So, as you know, every Monday, Rebuagadi Politiki, more South Africa, and we are talking politics South Africa every Monday, coming to you, as I said, on all those frequencies, on all those websites. And then we are not on FM yet, so people must not be surprised. They're not on FM yet. We are not. And then we are not going to be on FM for any time soon. We're going to be in list online, be free, uncensored, and kept, and everything. All right. Yeah, it's Kgosi FM coming to you right now from 7:30 to 9:30 tonight, talking to you about what's happening in our country and what developments have happened over the weekend. As today's Monday, this 1st of July, 2024. Thank you so much again for taking your time and your data, and you're very much welcomed. And listen, the WhatsApp number live is 064-548-7176. If you want to come and comment and tell me anything that you want to say to me, it's fine. Send me those WhatsApps right now. Just go to WhatsApp now from dramatic. I get like a time I get the national anthem, the real one. So dramatic. I guess it's dramatic in the song or me. But either one, yeah. All right. Before you talk again, first of all, I want to thank you. Let me put this camera here. I want to thank you so much, and I want to extend my appreciation to everybody who has watched our first day video. We are up to 3.4. Let me just double check here now. The one that we were talking about, JJ Tabani, and the one that we were talking about, why do we as black people always want to look for a job instead of doing things for ourselves? That video has garnered up to 3,300 views. I am so happy. I am so glad. At least the support are not on to it's coming along. At least our support and our support pillar, it's great. It's really growing. And that day I get a lot of comments from people that are commenting on the show, that has watched the whole show. We're commenting, and everybody and I was answering each and every comment that was coming through, because Nagilimo, as a host, even though as I've got my own opinion, and when I talk alone, I am giving you my opinion on a current affairs. And when you post a question or a comment in the comments below YouTube, yes, I will reply to you on the way. And then the other one I had to last time. I'm so wrong. I'm so wrong for saying those doctors, they do need, because I was mentioning doctors who were on strike here in Pretoria City, and I don't know if the person is she or he, but they said to me, I mustn't mislead people, because those doctors are looking for government jobs that they need to get after their training. I'm like, no, it's again, nurses and doctors are the same. After the training, they're given ComServe. They're saving, they're ComSaving for 3 years. Depend on the doctors they take. I think they take, I don't know, I'm not sure, 3 or 4 years. And then for the nurses, I know it depends on the level that you're in. If you're doing enrolled nurses, the white epaulets, you are given. But again, you are given 2 years of service in government, and then depending on the hospital, they will either absorb you, or you will have to apply for another hospital if you want to go somewhere else. But if you're doing government hospitals, they will absorb you automatically after that. And then, but again, for a D4 nurses who were doing maroon epaulets, they were coming back and doing 4 years. Because they were going to school for 4 years, but then the government have to pay back for 4 years. So it's not true that doctors are fighting for ComSaving. Because the problem is that, let me just clean this one up quickly. The problem is that most of these student doctors, they come from Mpumalanga, Northwest, KZN, and all those other areas, right? And they all come here to train. It's not a problem. It's a choice you can do for yourself. But the problem is that after they're finished, they don't want to go back home. Hence, it's concentrated in Gauteng and it's full. Gauteng is a very small province. Hence, because of corruption and because of it's full already, they cannot go back home and then they are left for a long time without any placement. Same applies to nurses. If you're a nurse, you come from Mafikeng, Gauteng. When you're done, go back home and serve home because home, like it's needed. Your service is needed there. But most of us will stay here in Gauteng because we like Gauteng. It's beautiful. It's Gauteng, by the way. You know what? So that is why most of them won't get ComServe Kanako, and then people they're gonna now sit here, but wait again. But anyway, I was just wanting to you got that highlight of a comment which I had to comment and put the whole answer there to say no. We have been through all of us there. I do know what I'm talking about, and. There is corruption in our system. There is a lot, but then again, there is a lot of opportunity that you're given after you're finished your training, especially if you're training through government, because most of these kids are training through either Medunsa, which is government, and they're trained from UP and vets. You understand what I'm saying? But they are still all government, so obviously they will get placement after. So it's what happens after the ComServe. Now you're independent. Now what must you do? I don't know if you understand. Now you're independent. Now you can go and open a clinic. And he said something like, no, but you need 150K to start a clinic. I'm like, no, I've got my own clinic. As you know, Segongane Medical Services is mine. I started it without even that much money, to be honest. The most money I've spent for the first 3 months to keep me going was 60,000 rands. You understand what I'm saying? Which I didn't even have, but I took whatever that I had from my own service, which I was saving for government, and we used that. Even the money from home, we used that to build up this thing. So it takes determination, Bakhechu. Determination, it takes you, if you want to do things for yourself as a black person, you will, no matter what. No matter what obstacle comes your way. If you really want to stop being a servant of somebody else, you will be able to do this for yourself. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for that, and it's beautiful. 3.3 views in how long? In 2 days. Already within few hours, you already breached the 2,000 mark views, and people are commenting and people continue to watch. And thank you so much for taking your time and your data to go into YouTube and listen to me rambling and talking too much here every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then it's a Friday we dropped the Friday Madness show, so you can just please go watch it. It's very beautiful. Me and Sapang is beautiful as well. We're talking about gays and lesbians. We're talking about homosexuality. We're talking about LGBTQ. And in that one, we invited 2 lesbian couples. They never showed. At the last minute when I called, they never picked up their calls, but then they had to go on, and we had to go on without them. So please go there. YouTube, the on a live show. Just go there and watch, and then, comment as well, please. I appreciate each and every comment. I don't care. You can stress. So long as you have watched and you've commented and you've subscribed. And the subscribers have shot up as well. Thank you so much. Let us push, supporting each other as black people. That's the best thing that will shake these people, because but just like a black unity scares them to death. All right, so please let us make sure we do this pillar and we support each other. Whenever one of us opens up a podcast or maybe opens up something like this, let's support him instead of supporting people that do not care about where we come from as black people or where we are going. It's about time the black men meet up and really become one as they're supposed to be. All right, so before let's go talk to the sponsor a little bit today. I'm back after this. This show is brought to you by Segongane Medical Services and Clinic. They are private clinic situated in number 70 Refference in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic, and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 702 Refference in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. All right, yeah. All right, our sponsor, main sponsor, Segongane Medical Services and Clinic, right in Westview, Danville, Pretoria West. Number 702 in Westview. Born about medical aid, they don't take medical aid. They are taking cash, 350 consultation, excluding medicine. So if you need medicine, you come and they give it to you according to what they have diagnosed you with and they have prescribed for you. So they do have a pharmacy, like the advert said, on site. So come over, please come and support them. It's black business, black owned, 100% black owned. There's no other people who've got shares here and here. Only me and my partner and Kgosi, and then it's only two of us on the CIPC document. So 100% owned, black owned. So let us support each other. I'm telling you, there's nothing that's gonna stand before us. Yeah. All right. The wait is over, but then the question would be, was it worth it, really, gentlemen and ladies? The wait is over, as you have seen, maybe those who are watching on Facebook, as you can see now on your screen. On Facebook, I'm showing you the faces of the new government of a so-called national unity. Kibitsa so-called national unity because it is a so-called national unity government. Now I don't believe in this one, but I'm going to analyze it nonetheless. And the wait is over. The final, the tension that has been brewing. We need to get this cabinet up and running. Hey, we need to get this cabinet. Hey, it's over now. You can just take a deep breath and breathe a little bit because we finally have a cabinet that is bloated. A cabinet is more than what we had before, and some people were screaming their heads off saying that they want to limit or trim the cabinet a little bit. But when it came to them to be given positions, they didn't see how this cabinet needs to be trimmed. But because they are now benefiting from this thing. Here they are now having ministries, 6 of them in the ministries of DDA. Nearly 6 ministries in our cabinet, and they didn't get what they were hoping to get. Thank God, this apostle grew a pair at the last minute. They didn't get what they were hoping to get, but then they got what they got. And I'm going to read out their names in a minute, and then you'll see if you're watching Facebook now, they are appearing on your screen, flashing one by one, from the President of South Africa, Deputy President, Agriculture Minister, Kgosi, and then basic education, and I will tell you again all those names, Manlemang, and all that. And we can analyze this thing. Are we really heading in the right direction as South Africa now, or we are just playing games with people's lives? Good one. Agriculture Minister is John Steenhuisen, his Deputy Minister, Rosemary Kappa, and then Land Reform and Rural Development, Ke Mzwanele Nyanto, which is from the PAC, and his deputy is Chup Stanley Matabata, sorry. Ke Ntate Matabata, and then I'm just going to read them out loud. So many people who didn't know this thing is here, they can actually know what's happening. And then communication and digital technologies is Solima Lachi from the DA, and then Deputy Minister Kumundli Gungubele, Deputy Minister is Kumundli Gungubele, who is then AS from the ANC, and then Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Velinko Setlabisa, IFP, and then this one, only 2 deputies. I don't know why 2 deputies, because somebody was saying the newspaper, this thing is like a watchdog thing. It was like a watchdog thing, because they put in 2 people to deputize 1 person. That is another money that is going to cost us that we don't even have money yet. the very DA was crying out loud saying, we don't have money, we are streamed to the cabinet. But then this one is more bloated. From 44 members, I think, for the last cabinet to 77, if I'm not mistaken, of the new cabinet. So it's been bloated more beyond that, which actually we could have imagined. And then you tell me, is this what we call the government of national unity? Okay, so Dixon Masemola wa ANC, and then Zolile Bans Ncamashe wa ANC, and then we have electricity minister, obviously Kgosi deputized by Samantha Graham, who from the DA, watchdog again. Science, Technology and Innovation, Benin Zimande ANC. Zimande Bamunti is now being moved from a failed portfolio higher education, and he's now been taken to science and technology and innovation. And then he's deputized by Nomalungelo Gina from the ANC. Employment and Labor, Namakoso Zana Meth, ANC. And then she's got two deputies, Jomo Sibia ANC and Pumzile Ina B ANC. Finance, Intil Inoko Dongwana. And he is from the ANC, and then David Masondo, key deputy high, plus Asho Sarupen from the DA, and then Forestries and Fisheries, Dion George from the DA, and then Nareen Singh, deputy high from IFP, and Benny Swartz from the ANC. That is their deputies, two of them. And then health, Motualedi Aaron is back on health portfolio. I don't know about this one because I thought Motualedi was doing a very good job, guys. Go Home Affairs. The man has proven that he's the only minister that actually delivered, except for the Foreign Affairs Minister. But Motualedi, I believe, is actually the best. But then he's back in health. Hopefully, he'll do the good thing like he did before. And his deputy, Joe Patla. Joe Patla, remember, he was the Minister of Health on the last administration. Now they've made him go down to being a deputy. Higher education, Nobutle Nkabani, ANC, Butimana Mela, ANC, and then Mimi Gondwe, the second deputy from the DA, and then Home Affairs, Leon Schreider. This one, Leon Schreider, let me just pass by. If you guys are watching on Facebook, and you will see I've got his Wikipedia page on the page now. William Schreider is a Zimbabwean, by the way. Let's look in our midst, a foreigner in our midst. He's a Zimbabwean, but I have not heard any uproar. Like anybody will go on an uproar whenever they hear or somebody's a foreigner. He is born in Rhodesia, which is Zimbabwe, the old Zimbabwe. Let me just open up his little profile now, guys, speaking, then maybe I can be able to read it clearly and out. And then just got the guy and everything. So Schreider Akili DA, he's a Minister of Home Affairs. He's from Zimbabwe. Here we go. He was born in he was born in Zimbabwe. Ethnicity, born Leon Amos Schreider, Boroville, Harare, Zimbabwe. And then nationality, Zimbabwean, political party DA. He's a member of parliament. But then why can't we hear any uproar? We have a foreigner in our midst. But it's not the first time. Remember, Pumzile Van Dam, she was apparently from, and there was actually questioned, where is she from? Pumzile Van Dam was from Swaziland, and he was in the DA as well. Yes. So Ntate Oleno, Schreider Ochoko, Zimbabwe, and he's here amongst us. But then I'm just imagining, I'm wondering, why are we not having an uproar? We have a foreigner in them. And I want to apologize, sorry about that comment, that other word. I don't like to use it. I don't want to use it, and forgive me in Soreling. Shame. We don't use that word in South Africa anymore. Yeah. But then he is part of the DA, is a Minister of Home Affairs. And then Njabulo Nzuza, his deputy. And then Human Settlements, Mamuloko Kubai. I like her, she does work. And then Tandi Mahambehlala, both from the ANC as the deputy. I would think this is a long cabinet, guys. It's a very long cabinet. But we're gonna go through it because some people don't have just this kind of information. International relations and cooperation. Ronald Lamola. They should just made this boy an ambassador because he didn't do nothing for justice, to be honest. But anyway, Alvin Boots is his deputy, and Tandi Muraka is his deputy as well. Justice and Correctional Development, which he held before Ron Ramona, Getembing Kadimeng, ANC, and Andri Snell were ANC. Mineral and Petroleum Resources, they've taken Godamantashi from energy. They have combined energy with electricity, by the way, under Kgosi Copper. So now they put Gwede in Minerals and Petroleum Resources. Mantashe and his deputy is Judish Nemadzinga Chabalala, ANC as well. And then planning and monitoring and evaluation, Marope Ramokopa ANC, and then she's deputized by CISO Mohai of the ANC, and then police, Mr. Senzo Mtunu, ANC, and deputized by two people, Poli Buchielo, ANC, and Castle Matale, the premier of the ex-premier of Limpopo, while from the ANC presidency, Kumbuzo Nchabeni, ANC, and then Nomcebo Mhlali, ANC, Kenneth Morolo, ANC. At least Timwa can apply Ramposori. He didn't get the DA to put their finger in our presidency. Thank God, at least to Konhora more icon. Public Service and Administration, and Mzamo Butelezi IFP, and then she's been, I'm sure she's been deputized by Pingike from the ANC. Public Works and Infrastructure, Dion McPherson, DA, and Sigala, sorry, from the ANC is his deputy. Small Business Development, Stellan Dabin Abrams, ANC, deputized by Jane Sitole from the DA. And then Social Development, Kisi Sisi, Tolashe, ANC, and Janif Hendricks from Al Jama is his or head deputy, sorry. Sports and Culture, Arts and Culture, Keaton McKenzie from the PA, Peace Mabe, ANC. Already, Keaton is making videos that he's gonna change. What he's gonna do? Why is he like Ayakutude Karu? He was doing the same thing until he left things half done. But anyway, let's hope he'll do this. Okay, and sports, Minister of Sports, Keaton McKenzie. Bulema Beki, hey, Bulema Beki deputy high. Wow, okay, the ex-spokesperson of ANC. Keep peace or keep Bulema. Oh, keep peace, my back. It's again a Bulema, care about a peace, man, from the ANC. Tourism, Delil, yeah, she's useless. This old lady, anything. She's useless. So, Bameli Pila, Bamute Bamia, go tourism. This the useless ministry we can never have in this country. That doesn't do nothing, no scandal, nothing, unless she's still going to pay. Oh, she was in tourism, was she not? Is she not the one who gave Trevor Noah some millions to just create a 5-second commercial out of South Africa? Yeah. So I look at it, she's useless. Peter Dille has been this woman who's been hopping around. She created two parties that she betrayed his followers to two different parties. She created Independent Democrats, remember? It was taken over by the DA, and then she was made mayor for maybe 2 terms, and then they kicked her out. Then after kicking her out, they stayed with the Independent Democrat Batwahai. And then from there, she went now and opened up Good. Good was sold by Ramaphosa twice now. So Good is gone. And then Maggie Sotovu, ANC is the deputy high. Then comes to trade in the industry and competition, Pakstau ANC, Zuki Godlimpi is the first deputy, and then Andrew Whitfield is second deputy. DA wanted this ministry so bad. They wanted this ministry so bad, but they didn't get it, thank God. Transport, Barbara Chrissy, the wife of the late this guy, Ahmed Kathrada, the one who refused to go to Akhana Zuma Aya funeral. State capture now. She's in the ANC with a transport, and then Mkule Kohlengwa of the IFP, his deputy. Water and sanitation, Pemima Jodina, ANC, David Maslobo, first deputy from the ANC, and Isaac Sihlolo from the DA. And then women, youth, and persons with disabilities, Cindy Siwe Chukanga, ANC, and then Mapaseka Steve Lisike, ANC deputy high. Last but not least, which I can see the list in my Mohonamo. Yo, Correctional Services, Peter Groenewald from the from the Freedom Plus, and Lindiwe Mchalin from the ANC. So, Bagacho, that is your new cabinet. How many people are here? Let me just count quickly. then you can have an idea below Rebula can 20 young. Let me see. Let me just count quickly. But before then, let's just hear what the president is saying a little bit. I'll be back just now. Yes. Hey, apologies about Israel. Oh no, jump! I found a nice a vulgar word, so I'm going to censor him soon. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm going to censor him a little bit. Yeah. So that is the cabinet in Hori Fido Kinda Posama Band, the long-awaited cabinet in Hori. Maybe the job can continue. Remember, we had a show about last week's show, I think. Last week, yes. In the long-awaited cabinet to be formed, which we got yesterday. All right. I'm just going to give my opinion about this one. To be honest with you, I am not in favor of this nonsense in Most Africa now. And I'll tell you why, Kirbiao. We have given our people a door in the government again. And they're still defiant. Let me tell you why. Helen Zille today was saying something like, this is a time for the DA to show the voters what we can do. The last time I checked, this whole thing was government of national unity, working together for people of South Africa, not working together to try to outshine each other or try to prove to us that Makwa can rule better. For now, this thing was just to appease white people. This thing was to appease the markets, which don't even have shares, most of us as black people. For us to appease the white settler, the white people of America, the imperial powers, that wants to see what people only be in charge of this country. And I'll give you a simple examples of what's happening now. That's common nowadays, since the election, 3 months now, no load shedding. That's number one. Number two, petrol next month, this month is July. I'm just going to fall down. It might fall down about 10 rand. You never know. Repatriate 17 rand again or something. Many things are going to start working. It's my own sentiment. Every portfolio ADA touring, it's going to work. Do you know why? Because they're there to prove a point. And they are the ones who are sabotaging those things not to work. To make sure the ANC government is rendered useless, ANC government is rendered incompetent and cannot do nothing to deliver for everyone. The way they are running Cape Town, they want to run this means is the way. Ramaphosa's letter last week said they were trying to create a parallel state because they were trying to get this portfolio, all the strategic portfolios like finance, like infrastructure and development, like DTI, Banyaka, trade industry. They were looking for all this, finance, the healthy, where they will outshine the very elected government, even though it's got only 40%. We are being manipulated here, South Africans. More than they are playing with our heads. They are manipulating us. Zila this morning was on Newsroom Africa talking to, what's Newsroom? Newsroom SABC. Now we're Adrian Sampier. I think it's SABC. She was saying clearly, plainly, we are here to prove to the voters what we can do. That is the main job. It's not about helping the ANC to build this country, to rescue South Africa from somewhere. It's about them proving to us what they can actually do. I'm telling you, these means are going to shine. They're gonna shine. They will never be Q's home affairs. They will never. It's again, everything's gonna work perfectly. Because in the first place, if you sabotage something to try to make someone else's feel look bad, when you get it for yourself, you are gonna make it work. I'm telling you now, that is their job. That is the whole point. They were never here to rule with us or to help us to get whatever that we need. They are here to make sure they outshine us as black people, to show the world that we cannot live without the black person. I asked this question last week. Maybe somebody can tell me 064-548-7976. We are being manipulated here, guys. The ANC has sold us out. The ANC, we thought it was the vehicle that's supposed to show us people where we are going. That's what the second part of this show is the history of this country. Just a small bit, because it seems like we have forgotten where we come from. Seems like we have forgotten why we had 94 in the first place. Seems like we have forgotten, why did our mother stand on those long snake-like queues to go and vote for this ANC to put it in power, so that we can be able to sit here today as independent and as black as we are, to be able to run radio stations and have podcasts and talk as free as we are today. But then what are we having after 30 years only in charge? We have white people again in a government. This is the second part of this show. So don't tune out if you're listening on www.Kgosi FM. Don't tune out, and if you're watching me on Facebook now, same applies. Please don't tune out. We're gonna have this thing, and you can have your comment as well now live. If you want to send me your voice note, send me a voice note on 064-548-7176, and then if you want to send me a WhatsApp as well, do the same thing on the same number 064-548-7176. More, we've been manipulated, Timo. The DA does not like anything pro-black. Why all of a sudden the rent is steady? If you ever asked yourself that question, Jigi ranta is strong. The rent is very strong. The rent is standing there. If it falls, we'll pick it up. Because they were tired of always being told about the rent. Tired of always being told about market this, as if even a black person, which is some clever blacks are still, the markets are responding well. Do you know what the market is? Do you even have a company in the market in the first place? Takes every single day. People talk about the markets are in Cape Town, are in Pretoria East, are in Sandton. They own business, huge ones that can pull in billions. Hence, they have to compete on a stock exchange. That is the market. Where now okra 350 Ramaphosa, okra Mudende, okra whatever, okra step and okra Nefsubuga market. Only because you join the DA and you vote for white people. And you think they are the best people for. They are not the best people for Botswana. They are here. This coming 5 years, they are going to, unless by some miracle, our elections are declared null and void and back to polling again, because that's what they are afraid of. But we must go back and vote again, because they're going to be exposed. They're going to lose. You can call it a conspiracy theory, it's fine. But one thing for sure, they knew that ANC is going to fall under 40%. 50%, they are now 40%. They knew that they will get 20%. It's not a coincidence. Or they are the only two parties that can be able to reach a consensus. The other ones are just been put in just for the sake of, camouflage this thing to look at GNU, this thing, camouflage it, just put PA Mungateka Sports and then Al Jama Mudire Deputy Minister, where some stupid ministry, and then IFP Mutin Temolo Mira, whatever is fine. Just keep them quiet. Goodly and Mungateka tourism, and not about tourism business, So then the other ones fell up. But the most beneficiaries in this whole thing, DA and ANC. The question is why? Regardless of the numbers, or how many people have got numbers in parliament, blah, blah, why? If this whole thing was about ANC asking other parties to come and join it to create a government of national unity, ANC is going to take most of the ministries and give these other ones each one. But because this was an agreement, a grand coalition agreement between the ANC and the DA from the word go, before the elections. Hence, we're having this now. We're having two parties that are ruling our country. The one was white, is white. The other one was supposed to be black, but now it's colored somehow. So, kids, what do you guys think? Because that's what I think. This is what I think. It can be. We're being played with here, Bakheju. But not too much. They are playing games with our minds. Hey, GNU, it's here. Hey, the markets like GNU. Even leading Bob Moody's. Moody's is some rating agency of America, which was fined by the US government for finding fault. Moody's went out and investigated the US. The US fined Trump Atomic. The US fined them millions for auditing them. Now they reign here. There we are. We're having Njimo Tshega as Minister of Defense. What the hell does Njimo Tshega know about defense? Yeah, she was once a deputy, I think, in defense, way back on DG or something like that. But what does she know about running a whole ministry of defense? Like, are we serious? We're having Zimbabweans now in our cabinet. And because they are white, no one is saying anything about it. Everybody's quiet. We're having memes already now being made. How about Tabaya Home of Barakinsus, AKA Barakimankana. How about education, basic minister education. Only Mimumuko when a cantilemo, Wari Babon Senators girl. Babon Senators girl, woman Chawasilo, Minister of Basic Education. The teachers are gonna go now and do community service during school holidays. Good one. It might sound far-fetched and it might be even a joke. It's a joke, it's nothing like that. But you'll never know. DA. DA has proven over and over again, it does not play well with other kids. DA, it has proven over and over again, actually, I say it's not part of this charade. They are not. But it's not got Samik. Once again, the whole point of us being out, 94 happened, was for a specific reason. We're going to come to the history of South Africa a little bit, just to remind each other, and from the very mouth of the very president, which were given by God, and people hate him so much. Jacob Zuma, they were red. When he gave them, because sometimes how they like you tell them the truth, or this is what happened, face to face. Because that person is ring. Because they don't admit 94 happened for a reason. But we'll come to that in a minute. Just want to end this thing out there, this so-called GNU. This is not a GNU. It has proven again and again as a GNU. This is just a grand coalition between the DA, the ANC, and others. Hence, Gula Muko, Kosolong, Gula Muko, Kontong, Katla Blind, Onside the Pir, Ko-X. Those who know X, Twitter, Yakal. Gulama Are, this is the general government of national unity between the ANC, the DA, and others. How nice. And others. Kilawan. And others. ANC, DA, government of national unity, and others. He's always singing President Ramaphosa's praises every day. So I'm telling you, Bakheju, we must brace ourselves for what's coming to this country. And I'm telling you now, soon, because what's going to happen now is for them to prove, as I said, for them to prove what they can do better than us. There is no such a thing of, hey, rescue yourself. Rescue yourself from what? But politics Cape Town. They can't deal Cape Town. They don't care about anything beyond that mountain. Everything, it's hunky-dory. Everything is perfect. Go to Kailija. Go to Langa. Go to Mitchell's Plain. Go to any other township that is black people staying there. You will see Hormola. I was there 2014. I can never go there again. Ever. And the apartheid that you see on the streets of Cape Town. My goodness. Yeah. So we were given that 77 people, by the way. 77 bloated cabinet. In a country, Hypocrites crying, they're going to take it off. We're going to trim this cabinet. It's too much. We're going to trim this cabinet. It is too much, this cabinet. But then they are part of the very same cabinet. Today, we are very oblivious from this. According to her, she didn't know this cabinet is going to be so much. 77 ministers and their deputies. 2 ministries having 2 deputies. 2 ministries. One, the corporate and governance and traditional affairs. 2 deputies. Employment and labor. 2 deputies, really. And then finance, 2 deputies. We've never had 2 deputies more finance, but now we do. Hakis what changed. Forestry and fisheries, 2 deputies. Higher education, 2 deputies. You never had deputies. We only had 1. What else? This one, international relations and cooperation, 2 deputies. We always had 1. And then police, 2 deputies. Police is fine for 2 because we need all the help we can get there. 2 deputies. I would rather say this actually was long overdue. And then presidency. Why do we need 2 deputies in the presidency? I don't know, because this person is inside the president's office. Their office is in the union buildings. They can sort of come Bamiza chief of staff. So, you know. And then Pakistau, trade industry, 2 deputies as well. Transport, not transport, water and sanitation, 2 deputies. So I don't know why. Do they have those 2 deputies who was being created employment for Kankani Falanji? But I don't think hypocrisy. They were always shouting on the rooftops, "Oh, they're gonna stop this thing, bloated cabinet." But now they are the ones who are part of it, and they're gonna now be in there and prove to the electorate. That is their mission. Zile said it. We're gonna prove to the electorate that we can do this. I'm gonna look for that video. Maybe audio then look for hub well today in some peer. I'm going to prove. We are going to prove to the electorate that we can do this. That is her words. No other one. No other one. We are going to prove the electorate that we can do this. Okay, let me check it here. Let me check it here quickly. We're gonna prove that we can do this. We are not oblivious. We are oblivious for this bloated cabinet. But you're going to do this. Because people like that simply means all that they are going to do. They are not going to be working with anyone to try to fix this and make sure South Africa becomes okay. It's more of let's show you how we can do this. Like my partner said earlier, we are going to prove that we can do this. Okay, listen to this a little bit.
New executive that includes members from parties in the government of national unity. Last night, the Democratic Alliance has been allocated 6 ministerial post, with its leader John Steenhuisen leading the Agriculture Ministry. The DA's federal chairperson Helen Zille now joins us to have a conversation and reaction to the announcement that has been made by the president. Helen, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. From the Democratic Alliance's side, your reaction to what the president announced last night?
Well, we're in it to do our very best for South Africa, to show the DA difference in the portfolios that we've got, and to try and help rescue South Africa. That's our job now.
Yeah, to try helps rescue South Africa, which is part of your manifesto. And in the president's speech last night, right at the end of the speech, after announcing the ministers as well as the deputy ministers, he says that none of the members of the National Executive...
to show the DA difference and rescue South Africa. Rescue it from what? I mean, if you're all going to be working together, guys, you can be working together to make a difference. Why are you still rescuing anything? Because the last time I checked, you're going to be colleagues, right? You're not going to be competitors in the same ring. You're going to be colleagues working together for a common goal. So assumably, it's a lot. I'm going to go through this whole interview, 17 minutes long. I will stop it in between Fedabel analyzing Modele Molhori. And our pastor Mo here shot himself in the foot. Shemia shot himself in the foot so nicely, and he's going to regret ever doing what he's done. KDA. Let's continue.
Has been appointed to serve the interest of particular constituencies, a particular party, or a particular section of society. How do you understand it, and how are you going to navigate around that?
Well, that's always been the DA's position. When we get into government, we serve absolutely everybody. And all our policies are designed to advance the whole nation, and especially to lift poor people out of poverty through economic growth and jobs and good service delivery and lack of corruption. So that's always been our position.
That is a lie. Let's just look where they govern in Midval, or let's just look at where they govern in the Cape, in the Western Cape. Poor people are more poorer than they were before. The only development that we see in the Western Cape on townships like Langa and whatever, it's what the ANC put electricity on shakes more. There's no improvement that has been done. There's no safety that has been done in those areas. So she mustn't lie. That's a lie number one, that they're gonna now rescue and then give us, it's a lie. One, just red flags.
Yeah, but perhaps maybe a difference in interpretation around the policy proposals that the DA has compared, for instance, to what the ANC has. Let's speak, for instance, about the BEE, triple BEE. The DA has a different approach to that in its understanding of what economic justice means, while the ANC believes that the BEE is very important to deal with the injustices of the past. So again, how do you navigate that particular space as a party that is now part of the GNU that doesn't agree with some of the policies that the major party of the GNU has been pursuing over the past 30 years?
Well, I'm presuming that will come up at the national dialogue, and we'll have a good discussion. You heard the president speaking last night about evidence-based policy making, and all the evidence shows that the ANC's version of BBBEE does not work. It makes more and more people poor and benefits a tiny politically connected elite around the ANC. So if we're going to look at the evidence...
Maybe this woman does not understand what BBBEE thing means. Broad-based black economic empowerment was supposed to be a mechanism too. If let's say, for example, in construction, simple example, established business like both stocks and stocks, when they got a 25 billion rand tender, had how train, not that not the train itself, but how had that construction, that railway from Pretoria to Johannesburg and others. It was around $25 billion, if I'm not mistaken. They must not only do this whole job by themselves. They must hire subsidiaries, which are black companies, or go into joint venture with other black companies to come and be able to do this. Many people have benefited. I've got a friend of mine, a patient of mine here. She's got a supply company. Since DA took over Tshwane, all those small tenders, I used to get tender bulletin here. Every month, I used to get tender bulletin, a huge book like this with all the tenders. They used to send me emails of small tenders like supplying of tissue, supplying of medical supplies, all these small and young things. They're always been given to black parties, preferably black parties, pili. Hence, many white people try to front with us and create companies with us as directors, but them being the main beneficiaries of this whole thing. Because they knew that they could not get into government and going to go tenders because of this thing. So BE was supposed to redress those, and it was working. Yes. There's always corruption. Yes. There's always somebody who's going to come and do something stupid. We know that. But it doesn't mean that all of the whole BE policies are wrong. For them, the way Action SA is even saying the same thing. Action SA, I don't know, everybody, including white females, must be put into this whole thing, not only black people. The very same thing comes from the DA. You buy the same thing? No, it's like that. Everyone else must be included, even though the white people, the white women were oppressed. I'm like, how were they oppressed when they were living with their husbands who were busy pushing apartheid on us? Our mothers were oppressed. So she's wrong by saying BE is wrong and whatever, because they don't like anything that is pro-black. Hence, JJ Tabane was fired for that. Remember? Let's continue.
In that national dialogue, we can see which policies work and which don't work, which policies help create jobs and which don't help to create jobs. In fact, which policies cause massive unemployment. So we'll be very frank about that.
Remember what I said here last week. What JJ said as well. They want to give you a voucher. They do not stand a black person who is out there being a billionaire or being a businessman or successful in anything like them. They also want to say, they want to make sure a black person will stay being an employee. Hence, the jobs. Everything's supposed to have jobs, creating jobs. Who must create the company that's going to create jobs? Did you ever say to these people that we want to be employees forever? Or look about multiply that we want to have our own companies? That's what the BE is all about. To make sure that a black person like myself can do what I'm doing at the moment. I'm not making millions here, but I'm making enough for me to survive and be independent from these people. Hence, they are pushing the job thing. As if we said, you know what, we need jobs. We need to work for somebody. Because obviously, if they do create jobs, those companies are owned by white people. It's okay for them as whites to own things and to employ us. We cannot own and employ them. It's wrong. You can't have that. Hey, South Africa, you are becoming too much. You're having too many BE deals. Hey, that's the same thing that can't him. Go NCA. And now we're nothing what I'm doing. That's all they talk about. Employment, someone depending on someone else to do anything so that they can be able to manipulate them and play with them like they've been doing with our mothers and fathers. Even today, same thing is happening now. So according to her, no, we need to get jobs. Those are the best things for black people. Let them be employed. Or I'm under a job. Let them sit there under a job is fine. And he's good being an employee. He mustn't own anything. He mustn't own land. He mustn't own a farm. He mustn't own a company. He mustn't go and compete the JSE. He mustn't. He has to be there to become an employee. Beautiful. That's what the DA wants from us. They must keep us as servants. They must keep us in servitude. They must always have to work and depend on someone else. Because if she will say BE is okay, he will simply say, now let's do this. Every black person will get this. You start up company and then you employ others. No. Jobs. We create jobs. Don't be jobs. A job does not give you independence. A job gives you dependency. You depend on somebody for survival. That person can tell you when to come. A couple of this other guy, was it last year? Last year January, I remember I saw a tweet actually. This guy was showing his boss picture, white guy, standing next to a Lamborghini black. And what he told this guy said, oh, boss, wow, nice one. And then the guy said, yeah, if you work again hard this year, I'm going to get my third one. Yeah, that's thinking. If you work hard again this year, I'm going to get my third one. That's what this person is saying. So at the moment, people are pushing jobs on our people. They push you to become dependent on them. It's not supposed to be. The ANC was supposed to liberate us from everything, economic and social. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. When they came in, they were so eager to win government, they forgot there's something called economy. Or they knew, they were told, you can get government, but economy, don't even think about it. Land, don't. Hence the PAC left. Do you understand? Unfortunately. But let's continue. 064-548-776. You want to be part of this talk? Please talk to me. So when Romela voice note, I'll listen to it and I'll play it out. Then we can debate if you want us to debate. It's not a problem. This is Kgosi FM. We are uncensored, unscripted, unfiltered in this show every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays. So let's continue.
Evidence. We are very pleased that the president did speak about evidence-based policy making and governance, because that is a phrase that we put in there and we insisted upon, because the evidence has to lead you in making policy and implementing policy, not ideology.
Yeah, the statement of intent speaks to a deadlock breaking mechanism. Has that been set up as yet?
No, not yet, but it also speaks to sufficient consensus, which is going to be a very, very important clause, Clause 19.
Yeah, and what's the interpretation around Clause 19? Is there common understanding, do you believe, amongst the members of the GNU, all 11 partners?
Well, the words are very clear, so I don't think there should be any confusion.
Yeah, there was a confusion, for instance, around Section 24. So with the Section 19, you believe there's common cause and understanding about what it means. What does 60% in the National Assembly mean?
Well, if you don't want to stick to an agreement, you'll always be confused about the wording, won't you?
Who doesn't want to stick to the agreement?
Well, you've seen what's happened. We in the DA have honored every step of the agreement we made with the ANC. Look at clause 16, look at clause 24.
We in the DA have honored every agreement we have made with the ANC. Let that sink in for a little while. There's no mention of other parties. There's no mention of anything else except them and the ANC. They have honored each and everything that they have said with the ANC. Let that sink in for 2 minutes. Hey, GNU, hey, what. Grand coalition of two parties. That's why ANC could not kick them out. I mean, they went to MK, all right? They went to MK. MK said, Ramaphosa out. That was it. There was no more talks. There was no letters flying around from Ramaphosa to John Steenhuisen to Jacob Zuma, nothing. Take him out. Nope. Done. Bye. EFF, Dinsang. No, now we want a Minister of Finance and Floyd be Minister of Finance. And then Ramaphosa, DA out, FF plus. I don't know if they said Ramaphosa must be out, but DA out, FF plus. Those were the talks. EFF even tried to come back and say, guys, man, please, man, this is a new deal I can bring on the table. It's fine, leave Ramaphosa, but take out these two. They were never entertained. Because this whole thing was between the ANC and the DA from the word go. It was never about other parties. Other parties were just there to camouflage, to make it as if. That's why more we have been played with. More we have been played with, more we have been manipulated, more we have been given. We are voting for nothing. We are voting. You just someone say, listen, voting time, 2 minutes, done. You know, America, they vote, but there's still this thing of electoral college that's supposed to decide the popularity vote. Now they go, I think they go for a poll, who's more popular between Trump and Biden. Oh, it's Trump, sharp. Whether he lost or won, apparently, America. So I think like they're trying to do the same thing. That's how it is. Mosadio, she speaks the truth. One thing I like about Zile will expose you for what you think you are doing. She will expose you. This woman, Helen. So everything, like I said, was between the two people, the two parties, ANC, DA. There's no GNU more. There's only a grand coalition between two parties and others.
I mean, proportionality is out the window. It doesn't exist. And we spent a lot of time talking about it. Proportional dilution is out of the window. Clause 24, out of the window. So, you've got to really understand that if people don't want to stick by the agreement, they'll find a way of not understanding its clauses.
So considering that proportionality, according to your interpretation, is out of the window, but the deal still remains in place?
Yes, the deal does remain in place because we need to move forward now. We need to take the portfolios we've got. South Africans are very, very sensitive. When you move into a tough negotiating space and you take a clear position based on an agreement that has already been reached, everybody says, oh, no, that's not fair. Oh, be nice, all of that sort of thing. These things exist for a reason. An agreement exists for a reason. That is why we negotiated a statement of intent, and that is why we intended to implement the statement of intent.
Is it a compromise on your end, do you believe?
I suppose everybody had to compromise a bit, but we didn't know that the president was going to increase the cabinet so substantially and give the ANC so much more than proportionally was their due.
So you didn't know about the extension of cabinet?
We didn't know about the size of the cabinet.
The first time that you found out about it was when the rest of the country had heard of it?
Yes. What we did know was which portfolios we were getting and which deputy ministers we were getting. That we did know. But for the rest, we didn't have any information.
So did you know that, for instance, agriculture will be delinked from land reform? Because John Steenhuisen...
Obviously, yes. We knew about our portfolios and what they included.
Yeah, but does that not mean that then infers that there would be an extension or expansion of cabinet? Agriculture used to be agriculture and land reform. Now it's just agriculture, and land reform has been delinked from that. So meaning that...
You may infer that from one example. But the bottom line is, let me just quickly kill this call.
Sure.
The bottom line is that we don't know how many they're going to be. And we don't know that they're going to be an expansion. You might have contraction of other departments and the fusion of other departments. You can't sit there and deduce from the structuring of one department that the cabinet is going to increase in size.
Essentially, though, the Democratic Alliance, which has been campaigning for a smaller, reduced cabinet, is part of a cabinet that has been expanded. And you accept that, right?
Well, we're accepting our 6 positions. So certainly the expansion of the cabinet has nothing to do with the DAs taking more positions than it is entitled to in terms of the proportionality clause. The expansion comes from many other parties getting a lot more than they were entitled to.
You are now party to that agreement as well?
Yes.
And what does that mean? Because you promised the electorate that we are campaigning on a ticket that also includes reducing the size of cabinet. You were speaking even during your campaign about reducing the size of the number of people employed by the state, civil servants, yet we've seen now an increase in the cabinet.
Well, indeed, there is an increase in the cabinet, and we had absolutely no idea of the extent to which that would occur. We've now got 6 ministries, which is less than our proportional due, so the DA is not contributing to the increased size of the cabinet, that's for sure. We will continue.
We have 6 ministries, which is less than what the DA is due. Yeah. Those who are still saying this is a GNU must just tell me, why is this woman adamant by telling us, so this is what they are not agreed on between the two of them? We've been played games here, guys. Can it? ANC needs to get out of power completely. They must. Where's the king? Can local government election? We must make sure the ANC is out of power completely. They are completely out. MK, EFF, and everybody else must really work hard to take over these municipalities. They must. DA can't compete because they are part of the GNU, remember. So now this only, like these other ones are free to do whatever they can to make sure they get as many votes as they can, because it's about time. It's about time. It's about time to say we are tired of this thing. We are tired of this thing. We are tired of being played with as the Rabanawanyani. We are tired of being lied to. We are tired of being used as voting cows. And then you vote for somebody and it's fine. The EFF has learned its lesson. We talk on that type of arrogance. It's not only about the foreigner thing, the open borders. No, it's about Lebona. They went, the electorate gave them votes. They give it to the DA. People are seeing this. And okay, we'll go to the MK. I think MK is going to be pro-black. Why? We need a pro-black pact. And apparently there's rumors, rumors that Linda Sisulu is leaving the ANC. She says she'll be announcing a political home very soon. So I don't know, where is she going to go? Is she going to go to the MK? Or is she going to go to which party? We don't know. But apparently she's not in cabinet as you speak, like as you said, as you saw. From cabinet, and then she was the tourism minister, I think, for the last portfolio high. So she's not in cabinet at the moment. She's not cabinet anymore. Because I told them that she's retiring from parliament. So I don't know where is she going to go as well, but I wish they can just join MK once and for all. ANC, whether we like it or not, ANC is not the same. ANC is gone. ANC is Mandela. Or it's people from then. ANC is no longer that one of 1912 that we had. Okay? It's no longer that. So, Bon, Nakere, I don't believe in this nonsense. I don't believe in this thing. So, this is too much. Smithsonian people doing nothing. Just wasting our money. And watch this space. This whole thing is window dressing. They are there to prove a point. To prove a point. That's all they're going to be doing. Prove a point according to the bonnet, they can be able to do more. I'm just going to let Zile play this one out, and from them we're going to go to the second part of the show. All right? 064-548-776. Please Send me a WhatsApp. Sharp.
With our 6 portfolios to do our very best and to add as much value as we can and to show the DA difference in the work that we do. So we will do that, and obviously we would like a much smaller cabinet, but in the context, we will do our very best. If the proportionality clause had been properly applied, we would have got 6 and the ANC would have got 12. And then a few parties would have got some more, so there could have been 18 cabinet ministers in all.
Yeah. With that said, Helen, what happens within the GNU in terms of holding each other accountable? If you're raising all of these issues right now, even before Cabinet has started doing its work, who holds who accountable and who says that, listen, now we need to reduce the size of Cabinet? Who puts forward such proposals?
Well, that's the president's job. He promised that, and it's in his power. It's not in the DA's power to reduce the size of the cabinet. It's the president's power to reduce the size of the cabinet.
For the DA, as long as you're part of the GNU, that's it. Whether it is small or expanded, as long as you're there.
Look, the most important thing now is not the size of the cabinet.
Oh.
I agree it should be much smaller. The most important thing now is whether the DA ministers in their jobs are going to be able to show the country that a DA government can make a big difference.
And how do you do that, Helen? Again, as I said, that the president is the chairperson of the executive.
Well, he doesn't run all the ministries. I mean, you've got to have relative autonomy as a cabinet minister to run your portfolio. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, but they still report to the...
Doesn't run all ministries. Did you hear that? He doesn't run all these ministries. Some ministers must have autonomy to run their ministries as they see fit. So then if not, then what is the point? That's what she said. What is the point? That's Zile for you. DA ministers will show the country what the DA government would do. So Pepela Kholomo, we are just giving them a chance to prove themselves. We're just giving them a chance to hijack our hard-won democracy, to give them a space to rule again and to go then prove a point. This time, hoping that they will vote for them outright this time. That's what she's saying. Helen Zille. She's telling you life. Oh, this is what we're going to be doing. Yeah.
Mandate doesn't work anymore. It's out of the window.
We've never wanted sealed mandates.
So was that a lie from the president?
What lie?
About
he never spoke about sealed mandates.
Sealed ministries, where you have a minister and a deputy minister coming from the same political party. Was that not part of the proposal that came from the Democratic Alliance?
Yes, it was part of the proposal, but that's not sealed mandates.
Okay, please explain to us what the sealed mandate is and what you were proposing.
We were not proposing sealed mandates. Sealed mandates is when there is a total hermetically sealed department that no one else can have any input into. We don't want that. It would mean, for example, that we couldn't have any input into the budget if there was an ANC Minister of Finance. We've never wanted that, and we would never want that. What we did propose was, if you want to make really good progress and have synergy between a minister and a deputy minister, it would be a good idea to have ministers and deputy ministers from the same party in a particular portfolio to make maximum progress. That's not a sealed mandate.
Including the DG?
Well, the DG is the head of the administration, and you cannot implement your program of action and your objectives if you have an ANC cadre at the top of your administration unable to implement the policy direction. That's obvious.
Okay, now what happens going forward? Because the president had said that some of your proposals are actually unconstitutional, and even making reference, for instance, to labor legislation in relation to the DGs. What's the agreement now going forward? Now that you do have, in some ministries, you have the ministries being led by the DA, and then you have a deputy minister that's coming from a different political party. Most of those deputy ministers are ANC ministers. What happens with the DGs now going forward?
Well, we will always follow the rules. We always follow due process. But we do believe that it is absolutely appropriate to have the head of department of a ministry run by the DA as someone who is committed and able to implement our policies.
Yeah, so what happens now going forward? Is the DA going to push for some DGs to be removed?
Well, we'll
the
see.
ministries
I don't know
that
what
you
the DGs
had?
are like. I'm not in government, Aldrin. I'm not in government. And we will have to see what the DGs are like in the different portfolios. I don't know them. I've never seen their work. All I can tell you is that when I went into government, I didn't wholesale get rid of people, even though I was taking over ANC governments. I didn't wholesale get rid of people. I looked at the quality of people's work, whether they were prepared to abide by the mandate of the electorate, whether they were prepared to deliver on our mandate. And if they were, they stayed. There was no problem. I never asked anybody their political affiliation.
Yeah, but certainly it's an important issue. That's the reason why you raised it. Earlier on, you were speaking about ANC deployees and cadre deployment. So that is an important thing for the Democratic Alliance. Which political party the DG is from, or the DG supports?
No. It's obviously important for us to be able to implement our policies. People can support the ANC or any other party without being deployees of that party. There's a big difference between the two. I have never, ever asked anybody for their political membership form. It would be completely unlawful to do so. You look at their work, you look at their commitment, you look at their professionalism, and you look at whether they're prepared to abide by the mandate of the voters.
Okay. Finally, the Bella bill is quite a contentious one as well for the Democratic Alliance, and the Democratic Alliance, of course, didn't support that. What happens to the Bella bill now? Is it something that you're going to put on the agenda of the national dialogue?
Well, the Bella bill is a non-negotiable for us, the right of school governing bodies to determine the language policy of a school is a red line for us, and the ANC's been aware of that from day one.
So what does that mean? We spoke to Mokoena Maluleke earlier on, and he said that he found it interesting that the president hasn't signed that bill as yet. Does it mean that there's an agreement between the DA and the ANC that that bill will not be enacted in its current form?
There's no agreement to that effect, but we have made it clear from the very beginning that the Bella bill is a red line for us.
Okay, then. Thank you so much for your time. Helen Zille is the federal chairperson of the Democratic.
Yeah. Like I said, this woman, she's very honest and brutal. How life will be jikilo and all what is what couldn't say the so the Bella bill, those who doesn't know, that's new bill education was proposing that they should curb and stop this thing of SG governing bodies of a school deciding what's the language policy that school will be, because every time how the Africans speaking, like Kuro they have an African class and English class. And automatically it's going to be white and black kids separated. What does that mean? You understand? So they can try to come up with stories or some kids can learn English. There's no way. English is not my first language. So is Afrikaans not my first language. So don't say you are protecting the kids who are speaking their first language. They must be taught. But whenever they were pushing for build schools that is going to teach in mother tongue. Because they know for a fact if you build a school se kwa siwa ka Setswana o ntsa ba go Kuro o be se go Setswana go Setswana go sala fela bona ba go talk English or whatever. So that is why there's not going to support this Bella bill thing, because that one was destroying that part, and now they've got the Ministry of Basic Education, by the way, DA, so it's gone. And by the way, Ramaphosa hasn't even signed it yet into law, so that means it's part of the deal. Obviously, she won't disclose that on radio. All right? Sharp. But we are done with this thing. Like Sharp GNU, Sharp this thing, what, and I don't support it because Kaiso is not for me. One thing which pains my heart could have given them a chance again. And she's just articulated what is their plan at the moment. What is their plan now? They're not there to do in this whole thing of GNU. They're there to prove to the people of South Africa we can do better than these blacks. Vote us this time outright. There's no more queues. Hey man, Home Affairs America. Hey batu. Arabon, agriculture. Ooh, lefat. Hey, yeah. All right. Anyway, I want us to talk about the second last part of this show today. History, the brief history of our country, where it's gonna be articulated by the Honorable President Jacob Zuma himself when he was in Parliament, and he made white people red-faced men. He was doing that. So I'm gonna give him a chance to give us a little bit summary of what really happened here from 1652 up until 1910. That's when the Union of South Africa was formed. So please take a listen and listen with attentiveness, and then we can continue to discuss this after that. All right, let's give him a chance.
I had to give a history of this country, and the history is history. History has chapters, painful chapters, wonderful chapters, but it is history. When I said, when Jan van Riebeeck landed in the Western Cape, our problems began, is a historic fact. Now, I always avoid giving the details of the history, but it's not necessary. When he landed, there were residents here, in this very city, who were established here. The Cohen son. They were living here, and they welcomed him warmly. And he established himself. They were together. Somewhere, somehow, a tension began. And there were wars that were fought. They were removed here forcefully from their area. Removed. And some of them went deep into the country, north, south, east. And the wars began because after the population arriving in South Africa grew, it is written down, it's not me concocting it. There were 8 major wars that were fought in the Eastern Cape. I didn't write that. We are not counting other small wars. 8 major wars. There was a great track from here when there was a quarrel between the Afrikaners and the British. As a history of this country, there was an establishment of 4 republics, 2 belonging to the British, 2 belonging to the Afrikaners. When all of this was done, the blacks were not consulted, even the establishment of the republics. The clash between the Afrikaners and the British continued. There is no part of the country that there were no clashes. With the British, with the Afrikaners. Some are big and known, some are not known. The Zulus fought the British, and the major one was the Tisanjuan. The Afrikaners fought the Zulus, and Ngombe, what you call the Blood River. And the British, the Afrikaners discovered, as they call it, they discovered, they actually came across mineral resources. And the British heard this, and they vowed to defeat the Afrikaners. And there was an Anglo-Boer war. I say history of this country. Very bitter war. We all participated on either side. Only now, when we are correcting history, we are calling it a South African war because we all died in that war. At the end of that war, the English-speaking and the Afrikaners met to negotiate and agreed the four republics should be combined, and took very important decisions. Where will the parliament be as part of compromises? It will be in Cape Town. Where will the administrative city, Pretoria? Where will be the judiciary? Orange Free State in Bloemfontein. And one of the decisions when these two met was that you will have, therefore, a union of South Africa, the government who should be elected at all times, but the black people would not participate in that process. It was that decision, that made the black people to make a call to meet in Mangaung in Bloemfontein to discuss what we called the national calamity, that the indigenous people are not to be part of governing this country. Very bad decision on an important decision of uniting the four republics. It was that time that we said we are going to fight to liberate ourselves, to be part of government. To participate, you must know, because this country was still under British colonialism fully. There were delegations that went to England to raise the matters. We did not want to fight. We wanted to be part of the process to govern this country. This now are the activities many years after the landing of Jan van Riebeeck, who opened the way for them to be here. They started fighting here, Eastern Cape, Free State, everywhere. There were wars. And again, after many years, we said, but what type of a country do we want? Because we must be clear, if we say we want a non-racial South Africa, what are we talking about? That's why the meeting in 1955, wherein everyone in this South Africa, including government, was invited to say what type of a country do we want. And that's why the Freedom Charter is important, because that's when we molded this country we have today, a democratic, prosperous country. Important in that gathering is a preamble of the Freedom Charter. That is the basic policy of the ruling party, where we said, we the people of South Africa declare for all to know that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white.
Yeah, all right. That was a brief history. Our former president, Jacob Ngehlekisa Zuma in Parliament, where people were fuming to hear that. They were reminded of the truth. Yeah. Oh, before breaking news. The announcement ya mo Gauteng gape ya the GNU ya Gauteng ya Gapanza le Sufi has been postponed again. Remember it was postponed last week because they did not reach consensus with the DA bullying them to. So again, it has been announced or it has been postponed again, and the DA in Gauteng will not be part of the announcement of the executive in the province. ANC has been told that the DA has not come to an agreement with the ANC. The DA confirms to ANC it only was offered only 2 positions in Gauteng. The DA says it can't accept this and will therefore not be part of this announcement. Yeah. So that's your GNU, guys. That is what the GNU is all about. That is your GNU. Oh yeah, Elias, look here. Yeah, that is your GNU, by the way. They were only given two positions, so they can't accept that. They want to control Gauteng. I'll say to Panyazu, you actually continue without them. You know, he might just continue without them. This is too much. We cannot be having this thing. We're having this thing, and we've been held ransom. We've been held ransom. Busy. They don't want to work and play with others. But we knew the DA has never been part of. Has never been a team player. But we have been just this blasé. No. We will do this thing of GNU. It's never gonna work. Yeah. But anyway, it's done. Okay, so I feel like a reminder, guys, where do we come from? Those who doesn't know the history of this country, please just go and Google. And first and foremost, apology for the piano thing behind the sound. I was researching and looking for this clip on YouTube. I can't find one that is full length, like this one. That's got everything. It's 8 minutes long. And then I just got half of this. And then the only one I got was this one with this piano thing at the back. But I'm sorry about that. Forgive me if it was irritating me. But I had to bring this message across so that people can understand where we come from. But one thing I want to say, and I want to say this in a very earnest way. 1994 happened for a reason. Okay? 94 happened for a reason. Because we just had an election last term and then we are changing government from this government to this one. 94 was not only about changing governments. It was about freedom. It was about getting out of oppression. It was about never ever being ruled by white people again. That was 1994. The reason why we had 94 was to make sure we are out from this under these people. Zuma said it there. When all this consultation was happening about the 2 republics, blacks were never consulted. That is an historical fact. And do yourself a favor. Don't just go there and say, go research for yourself and read and study for yourself and know is he lying or not. And come here and comment on YouTube now and below. 94 was never created for this nonsense than today. Kumbaya, this singing, Kumbaya, we were never. We were taking back our lives. We were taking back our government from these people. We're not just transitioning from one end to another. America is 2 parties, Democrats and Republicans. After 5 years, it goes this way. 5 years, this way. They are white anyway. All the other governments in Africa, they are black. All of them are black except Renamo. All of them. There's no opposition party like Khwakwa. The former colonies of everything above from Botswana, they are gone. We are left with these people here. Sorry, excuse me. So the whole point of 94 was to take back our dignity, take back our government with all our flaws. They were corrupt as well. Don't think of what people are. They've been the most corrupt of everybody. It's just that Bonaba feel corruption. They hide it so nicely. Remember, the SABC was a propaganda machine for government. It was not showing what they're showing now. Hence, Claudio Motsweni said SABC can be showing the violent side of the country to international people. But what I see when you see an CNN homelessness, America, we eat, right? Unemployment, America, we eat because CNN and all the other major networks will never show that. Because they have to portray America as this superpower, that's everything is beautiful, come to the US to succeed and do this, blah, blah. You're going to show the dirtiest laundry. What are stuff against you? SABC ya khale ya maburu ine bontsha bontle le propaganda ya ba tshwantsho ba itumetse ko makeshene. They are happy in townships, they are happy, they are dancing to kwela. Whereas people were miserable. They never showed forced evictions. They never showed bunch education. They never showed anything that is wrong. They always showed beautiful people but they're going there in town to go and shop and what. Good one. So 94 guys, haya atla mahala. 94 came because there's a reason behind 94 happened. We were having apartheid. Something that said is a policy of government. Black people are staying in the townships, white people are staying in towns, in cities, and Pretoria East and all those beautiful suburbs. West Parker here, Danville here, everywhere. We don't mix. There was a separate door for the whites in a bank. There was a separate door for the blacks here. This history must be taught to our kids because they've been diluted. Hence, you see many of these so-called Black Party members by DA, they don't know nothing about our history. They know nothing about anything. There's no way in heaven that you're going to say to me, I must move on after 30 years. You have oppressed me of a system that made sure we don't have generational wealth as black people. We don't have generational wealth. No, this article over the weekend. Yeah, this government says the kids advocates who are under 30, graduating now, they were never historically disadvantaged. He's doing law now. This year, I think. He's like 28, I think this boy, 28 or 20 something. So he's been classified as not previously disadvantaged. Against Robiang, because first and foremost, there is no law firm that is owned by us. There's no law firm that is being owned by black people that he can just go and walk into a job like a white kid, and law like Yena. Many of the kids who are doing accountancy, whatever, medicine, whatever, law, engineering, all this, they're going to walk into ready-made positions, waiting for them to come in there and just continue working. Olatil Mafojani is one of the few people that's going to get out of school and had to go to the very same white law firms to look for articles and whatnot. Because there's no uncle Olatil own a law firm. But for a white kid who's in UP or who's in Stellenbosch, there's an uncle somewhere or relative or any other white person who's owning a law firm that is just going to walk in there and become an attorney. Overnight success with a company car, 6-figure salary, and Obama Fufisa articles for 5-10 years or 2 years, whatever time, just because he's black man. So I don't know what kind of policy is that, because we seem to forget. After 30 years, it does not mean everything has been erased. We are now equal to these people. We are not. We are very far from these people's equality. We are very far. We are very far. But then people, South African blacks, you have forgotten where we come from. You have forgotten Hara votela mahala. Yes, we trusted the ANC that has betrayed us today. But there's other parties in parliament. MK is there. EFF is there, who are still pro-black. PAC negates hair, UDM can lead the backbone, but positions because they didn't do well in the elections. That's why they went and joined this genuine, given one position each. But they were never pro-black. PAC was supposed to be pro-land. At least they won't be the Minister of Land. Hopefully they will make a difference. We'll see. But the overall thing, gentlemen and ladies, we did not go into this government because they change just government from this one. These people were not even supposed to be having a party to debate in government. Tanzania hakuna makoa. No other country in this continent of ours has white people who were their former colonists in their government. It's only us. And you'll ask anybody, well, here we have a colonialism of a special kind, because we don't give a damn. Gore ba kae, a nya ke rena he ba tlha kae. Let them go back where they came from. We didn't ask them to move into South Africa. We never asked them to come and colonize South Africa. We never did that. They came here because they wanted to come here and do their own thing. And they did for a lot of years. We're having scars as black people at the moment because of these people. That is not act this what's again. This has just been a kumbaya moment. Everything has been fun. Everything has been beautiful. What's again? You are living in paradise. We are not living in paradise. They still want to outshine a black man even today. Ramaphosa tried to bribe them. The GNU. They still tell him on his face, "Or you are going to show the very blacks what people can do better than you as a black person. You can't rule this country. We're going to make sure we expose you and show them what the way we used to do before." Makwa will never change. White people will never change. They will never become anything than what they came here to do or to be. Whether we like it or not, at the end of the day, this is our country. Africa is for Africans. South Africa is for black Africans. Anybody who has been brought here by a ship, either from India or from ever, they are not South Africans. You can have a passport or you are not. So long as you're not going to fight for the black agenda, you are not South African. We can be told by their history, no, you came from North Africa. I'm like, okay, even if I did, it's Africa. Even if I did come from North Africa, but when they came here, they found the Khoisan and whatever, they didn't find us. Anybody else, they got the Khoisan people here only. So, Bonaki to be hunted people country, which country are we talking about? Blah 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 blah. It's just mocking. So you must just sit down as a black person and question yourself from how can vote the IGA? What the hell am I doing? Or what the hell am I saying? ANC is gone. ANC is dead. Unfortunately, ANC is gone. Next elections, they will never be in that ballot again. They have created more enemies, and it's their own fault. But there's parties like MK, parties like EFF, that can be built. Who still has this thing? It was terrible in this country before. They must never lie to you about what it was hanging. Things were better than up. They were never better than up. Things were terrible. My father especially, has to have a work permit. He must have a dump pass, that huge book that you have to carry everywhere. White people had IDs, the green ones. I don't know how were they before, but they had IDs born as South African citizens. Our fathers had to have this dump pass that would show which tribal authority, which homeland. Remember, there was four homelands in South Africa, 4 so-called independent states. The TVBC states, that's Transvaal, Bophuthatswana, Ciskei, and Venda. Right? The TVBC states. So all of them were made up with our languages. Transvaal was Xhosa, Ciskei. Bophuthatswana was us. Bophuthatswana, it was us, Kabatswana fail. Venda was Venda. The other smaller ones were Bokangwane from Mandebele, Kazankulu from Machanga, from Matsonga, all these other ones. It was just small. But the main ones that were made as independent states with their own flag and everything else was this 4. Opa Xhosa, I think, was doing Ciskei, Transkei, and then Bantu Holomisa, the very one. He was a general Ciskei. He was ruling Ciskei. Venda was still Venda, King Pepu and the rest, and then Puteson was not Mangope, Lucas Mangope. Wanahi, Edi Mangope, Kikoen or Edi. I think Kikoen. Kiena ahead and XNSA in Northwest as we speak. All these states, our father had to carry a permit. My father would tell me they will come into the house. They were forcefully removed. They were forcefully removed from Lichtenberg to Itusseng. They were given 2 options. Either they go to Hanalacht or they go to Itusseng, according to my father. And they chose Itusseng. That's the beautiful township, so called. Because about time it was only 1 room shack that were put. And then later on, they added another brick room, and it was 2 rooms. So the original settlement they used was 2 rooms. When I was born, it was 2 rooms. There's zone 2. Zone 1 and Zone 2, those were 2 rooms. That's where we were born, some of us. Zone 3, Baghdad, Israel, they came after that. They came after 1990, 91, 92, fell about 89, fell about 88, yeah. They were put there. They were removed from in that place, Lichtenberg, where they put white people there. They were removed. They were put there, and then Peterson was created in 1977, and they were now independent under independent homeland. So if you walk around in town in Lichtenberg, any police person can just come and say, "Vas you pass? You must be out of town. 5 o'clock, you must be out of town. You are getting a permit to go into town as a black person. You're not living this life. Whoever black person says things were better than apartheid, you must kill him. Because we were nonsense. So there's nothing like that. So we must go back, gentlemen and ladies. We must go back and remind ourselves where we come from. Most of our kids don't even know. Baby, like all of our kids after 94, they don't know nothing about apartheid. They think everything is hunky-dory. No. And it's not a problem. But I blame us as parents for not teaching them the truth. Because they've been taught this every single day. Believe you me. They've been taught this thing, this history by its Huntley. They are taught foot trackers. They are taught everything from scratch. Hence, apartheid has been coming along from generation to generation. How you put it? Why? Because they are taught, oh, this is how it is. This is your stance. This is your this is your stance. This is your position in this government. No black person must be above you. Yes, a fortaker, yes, a boor. You must make sure these people, they know who you are. Hence, many kids now. That's why apartheid is, born from 1948 up until now, it has been coming down behind because they are teaching it to their kids. Who teach to their kids up until today? And now we are told South Africa belongs to everyone who lives in it. No. South Africa belongs to the black majority which was found here by these people when they came in 1652. I was in Cape Town 2014. When they will show where Jan van Riebeeck landed on the Cape Point. It's a bunch of rocks. Apparently he's shipwrecked there, and some of us people drowned and some of them survived, himself as well. They managed to come to that sea point is like the little point. They will not find settlement. They'll find few people there. Yes. Obviously, they'll find few people there. They never went to Natal. They never went to Mafeking. They never went to Bloemfontein. They never came here to see are there people now. But according to their history, no. They only found Khoisan in a very farthest point of Cape Town. Not even deep inside Western Cape. But according to their history, they never found us here. We found them here. Pila we are invaders. We killed the Khoisan. So just a reminder, guys. And a reminder, movies that cry freedom. I watched it yesterday. I was crying. Sarafina, even it's a musical, it shows you exactly what's happening in townships, kind of apartheid. Movies like Cry the Beloved Country, but mostly Steve Biko. I actually wanted to get audio started to Biko, but I could not. But just to play them each for you when he was talking to Donald Woods, the man who wrote Steve Biko, the book, where the movie was taken out. So please just make yourself a favor. Go and search for that Cry Freedom movie and watch it again. Maybe it will remind you where we come from. To see those kids in Soweto being shot in 76 for nothing. For them refusing to be taught in Afrikaans. For them to be refusing to be taught, you cannot come and teach me Afrikaans. It's not even my language. It's not even a language in Twe. It's a dialect, but you're forcing it down my throat. When you give me substandard education and still trying to make it difficult for me to pass the same nonsense CA was not substandard education, you're still making it difficult for me to pass it. Do you understand? See how those kids were shot. See the Sharpeville massacre. How was it done? Viciously. How people was evicted from Crossroads in Cape Town. Being evicted, Kafru, 5 o'clock in the morning, those Caspers are coming in, destroying shacks, burning everything in their wake, and then they go. Where must people go if you do that? See people being moved from Sophia Town, being taken from Sapphire Town, Ukankani, by issue of Soweto. Declare the white area. Naledi Pandor said something in Parliament. Her father bought a house before that place was declared a white area. It's just an announcement. Hey, but what Trejville, Mamelodi, yes, and Soshanguvi. But Lady Selbonemo. Lady Selbonemo ki hao joka tunnel. Before you get onto R80, on your right hand side, those nice houses there, that used to be a black area. They're just next to the mountain. That used to be a black area. It was declared a white area. They were removed from there to Atteridgeville, to Mamelodi, to Shanguvi, some of them. So these things, it happened. It's part of this history. We must always remind ourselves where we come from. Because at the end of the day, we are not all, it's not all roses and what that you have been trying to be fed and trying to be given. And it's a pity that we have self-hating black people who still don't want to accept this as a historical fact. Self-hating black people who still wants to say, no, Reshapo, everything is fine. You are not. Hence now, we are not going to compete with these people in our own government for 5 years. 5 years coming. If only the ANC stood to when it was called South African Native National Congress. When their mandate, before PAC, when they met Barbon, this thing, we're going to do this. Before Mandela can even be born, maybe, or even was still a young boy, because he joined after 1912. When these people started this thing, really, we need to start this thing. They were pro-black. They were fighting for black people. Now we have an ANC which is very diluted, which is very bought, which is money everywhere. It's a pity. And then who suffers? Us, the black natives, again, as always. For people who are given shares, by people who are given shares, people who got houses, people who were bought, like Barekilwe, life. Mandela was given a house called Hoten for nothing. He was built a mansion in Kutkunu for nothing. His kids, his grandkids were given shares. They were taken to school. They were taken to school by Oppenheimer or Kiminel. Governor Big got a house for Bombay, but Bombay, Lebo, Meletim Big, more hot anymore. A mansion there. They were given Bobo, Meletim Big, they had economics, whatever, they were given jobs in these companies, they were given shares. Hence today they can stand there and talk as if they know everything, but then why is it their father was bored, their grandfather, their father was bored. Now Sanelem Bek is the multi-millionaire woman, black woman in Africa, who owns shares in every company. This woman. The struggle was betrayed a long time ago. And now we are here sitting down. Whereas everything is gone. We don't own nothing. You don't even own a simple newspaper. You don't even own a simple TV station. We only own this podcast that we are actually still subjected to the rules and regulations of other white companies like YouTube. We don't own nothing as black people. It's disgusting. But we are busy voting each and every, for the 7th time now we voted. Oh, 7th administration. But it doesn't do shit for us as blacks. Then we see black people going to vote for this very same white people and defending them. People say, what the hell is going on? Are we really saying, is really a white person? Where there's no white supervision, things can be done. Where there is no white person involved, we can't even take it. We even have this thing in our heads. That's how damaged we black people are psychologically. We are damaged beyond anything. It's a pity. Shame. So I wanted to do this thing paper to just to remind ourselves, where do you come from? Why did you have 1994? Can you go back there again? Jacob Zuma, you can hate him however you want. He's still the only remaining ANC member with a clear mandate of what black people are supposed to be. This man's, his whole presidency was doing this thing, what he's been doing now. He was a thorn. He had to be removed for the sake of white people to be comfortable in parliament. He had to be removed. He had to be sacrificed by the very ANC, which is trying to please everybody. ANC has been bought. We're done. We're done. It will be in the dustbin of history. Or no, guys, that's how it is. We used to have this thing called ANC, and yeah. We don't own anything. We don't. Everybody else. Building a company. Which brand did they create from scratch? Get it multi-billionaires on paper because of the blood money by grilling from selling out a lot of black people. Which company have they created? They got shares. They got shares from white companies. They bought them like that. And here we are. Who suffers? Us. Enjoy. Their kids are well off. Their kids are well off. Okay, their families, they've created generational wealth for their families. Now I'm trying at the moment. We are trying to create generational wealth for our kids, or at least like a Jomo. Makosi can take over this clinic. Junior can take over the studio. At least they'll have something to start off. Hopefully they will run it and create more wealth for themselves. Hence the insurance. I want to do a show about the insurance companies nowadays. They will never give you. They will always call you guys. And remember, they are owned by white people. They will always call you, hey, Ronald Federal cover. Not investment, not life cover, not whatever. Life cover thing about phone. But for 2 million, 1.5. A white person gets 10 million, up 550 rents. You go and see the loan, the bond. How much have you been charged for cars and bonds? We are not charged the same. We are not charged the same. White people are getting less interest because they are more safe. They are not the risk than us. Well, receptionist, it's a lab like Lancet or whatever. Mam Maka Audi or latest BMW. How do you afford that? Whereas in Nagile, what triple qualified, kill either phlebotomist or kill whatever. But I can't even afford to buy myself a car. I know you receptionist or some can turn wiki matot. How come? Wow. Okay. It's because of white privilege that we fought for before 94. That we thought we got we've got rid of it. But we did not get rid of it. It's still there. Thank you for this reminder, this man. Are hopes or where do we come from? Because people are now don't want to talk about it. And blacks will tell you have to move on. Because it will only pass them another 12. Just because when you are so-called middle class, don't think that all of us are. I told the other one, just when I go from a point of so-called privilege, or you're a middle class at the moment. You've got land, you've got a farm, or lawyer, and everything else. So you think when you have arrived. So some of us cannot say nothing. It's wrong. It can be. So let this be a lesson to all of us, gentlemen and ladies. As you've come to the end of the show, man, I have a lot to vent, but it's fine. Just go to YouTube and upload this thing. Upload those who have subscribed, you'll see it. And that's upload. I'm going to upload it tomorrow, possibly. I'm going to edit it tonight. Then tomorrow morning, upload, and then you get it. Please go watch. Let's keep it up to thousands of views and subscribe. Let's put this show on the map as well. And be proud to be black, man. Just be proud to be black. The judge asked if Biko in court, why do people call yourself black? You're more brown than black. And he says to the judge, why do people call yourself white? You're more pink than white. And the judge asked him again, why do you always use this phrase black? I'm like, because black has been associated with bad things. The black plague, the black sheep of the family. Everything black is wrong. Everything white is pure. I remember Malcolm X, when he was in jail, he was given a dictionary. They said to him, listen, check the word black and white. Look at the word black was saying evil, devil, darkness, black plague, bad, all this nonsense. Then he goes to say, check the word white. The first thing, innocent. pure, beautiful. Be proud of your skin color, gentlemen. Be proud of your skin color as a black man. Then don't listen to these little white niggas, but the house negroes, because people talk from the point of privilege. Somebody worry. Now I work with white people, but because you are doing a job. Do you think they can talk to you after that? Whether you teach their kids or not, the fact is you're doing your job. They tolerate you for that moment because you're doing a job, Mren. They're not doing anything because they favor you because you are the best. No. For them, you're still a black man who has to come to our school and teach our kids. So, oh, now I'm teaching white kids. They are tolerating you for that moment, they fail. Because I'm not a choice. They are forced by the real government. They must accept us. No, you're not cricket. Cricket has performed. Because there's only one black player, apparently. They were not performing because they had a lot of quota black players. Giving you this impression that all black people can't do anything, whereas a white person can do better. That's how they take you. We're not a pro-white person. We're inciting hatred, we're inciting violence, we're doing whatever. They don't believe you're as good as to play rugby. Fucking rugby. When it's a black coach, rugby loses. When it's a white coach, they get a World Cup with one black token. Siakulis. One black token. Copy labon. The same goes to your cricket. Who doesn't know how to play cricket? I don't like it myself as a sport. I don't know why should a sport take the whole day or several days to complete. You know? And then they compare Bafana rugby born. Because they're saying to you, you ain't good enough to play our sport. You're not good enough. No, you're never number one. Like things are gonna work out. One secret was understanding. Things are gonna start opening up because DA is in government. Manipulating you further, lying to you further, showing you we white people there's a difference. Whereas apology Cape Town, Yabonel. Even for 16 years almost. Since back at that Cape Town after 1994 elections. 94 elections, say for 94, 95, 96, 97. 98 came out and Cape Town. Till today. And the only place is beautiful is the city where white people are and its own suburbs around. Yako Kailicha, Yako Langa, Yako Michels Plaini, Yako Google to you will see me troll. You will think you're in another country. How Jigots and us no jump fella that mountain was another city of Cape Town. You see, wow, okay. It's the same thing. Steve Biko said something to Donald Woods in that movie, let's have a movie thing, Cry Freedom. That line, I love it because I trust it because it's genuine and real, and I trust it because it's abstract from the book. Ari, when you are older, to go to town, you go to town, and then you get to town, you see their cars, their houses, you know, the way they live, the way they shop, the way they eat, and how compared to where you come from. That's when you start questioning your own humanity. Am I really human? Am I really human? Like, I come from this dusty place with no running water, with sewage everywhere, with no nothing. But then I come to this place and then I see streets, paved, tarred roads. It's nice. You know, houses are very nice, very big. Pools, kids are running around. But then I have to go back home. When I go home, I go to a township with no roads, no nothing. You start questioning your own human taste. Am I really human? What is wrong with me for not getting the same things that these kids and these people are living? Why is there a difference between us and them? These things happened, gentlemen and ladies. It happened. Rapoti was there. It happened. It's up to you to make sure ANC it's out completely at the next elections. Unless you're going to now rig the elections again. Because ANC is not a refasilo. And you can't hide anymore, no ANC. ANC has a fan. And I haven't seen him. He's part of the GNU, right? I haven't seen him cabinet. Shame. Sorry, my money. Because cabinet is KDA, IFP, good PA, le PAC, Al Jama. Because I know my money, apparently I don't know if he joined the JNU, but I think he was going to join as well. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So let's support each other, guys, as black people. And as a black person, stop always looking for discount from another black person. Okay? Because people are doing business to try to create this generational wealth for their kids. We're not shortcut or no, you go pay discount to one man. Oh, come on, my bra. Hen twele bukana sepate. Hela ko khono spatela ko shoponya yale India, ono spatela ko liburu. The same thing, do it for black people. Let's support each other. Another thing which I always mentioned. Remember what Zile, they were campaigning on what? Remember that flag advert? Yeah, one. The doomsday coalition between the MK, the EFF, and the ANC. This is ANC. All these three parties ANC. They are very happy to see ANC splitting into smaller pieces because their job is to make sure they separate us from each other by hook or crook. They are very scared of black unity because they know if only people can actually learn a secret of unity, we are doomed. How many people are 20% of the population? They are very small. We are the rest of the population of this country. Hence, they try to bring Indians in, trying to bring colors in, trying to form this thing because they can actually stand against it, but they can't. Because strong. Bible said doomsday coalition because the moment black people unite, they know for a fact that they can never have a stand in this country again. For born is doomsday. Swat khafar. Hey! They are now working with the ANC. How ironic. How ironic. How ironic that they are working with the ANC today. But they are seeing this as a doomsday coalition. Hey, doomsday coalition. But we must never let these people unite. Hey, but you they know. So learn from that, Mutomunch. Learn from. You're on your own, shame. You're on your own. Like I said, comment below, please. More YouTube, more Facebook. Now we are live. Comment there as well. What do you think about today's show? What do you think about what you just covered today? Please tell me what you need to talk about, Khape. And then let us build this country for ourselves. We don't need white people to do anything anymore. Rashab. They still own a lot, but unite. As black people, unite and become one. We'll go very far. We'll go very far. When you have some things like this, about Kgosi FM, independent stations, independent media houses, support Msoto, support. Regardless of now the ANC, Kgosi MK or EFF, support. Stop letting yellow t-shirts, red t-shirts, green t-shirts define who you are. That's what they want. No wonder there are only two parties in parliament, and they agree. EFF and Freedom plus LDA, they agree. Bill. But the party in parliament. It's a lot. It's a lot. And we fight each other. Just some stupid comment. Okwala Groenewald. Oko X. Are Mr. Groenewald. Jacob Zuma is coming to one of your jails very soon. And he's a black man. He's coming to your jails very soon. Please make him sure that he's very unhappy there. What kind of a black person is that? But we used to have house Negroes, man. We used to have house Negroes. We used to have the Pimp Most Africa. So we are not surprised that we still have some like that amongst our ranks. But we cannot let them win. We can't let them win. Kilaban. We can't let them win. So anyway, it's fine. Bon, okay, for tonight. Now go to leave it anyway. 2 hours. Mudim. I'm done for tonight, man. We've come to the end of the show, and thank you so very much for being with me today. Again, please go to YouTube and support us like you did last time. That's beautiful. Tell me your suggestions, study topics that you want us to cover here, and you want to come and be a guest. Same thing. Do that. Come. Be my guest. Let's sit down and talk like this. Vent. This is online. So America, they're listening to us. Australia listens to us. Brazil listens to us. Everyone else is listening to us. Okay? Don't forget where we come from, guys. That's what I want to say. Never forget where we come from. This song, let it remind you where we come from. The real national anthem of this country, same as separate, I'll never sing this stem. This other one was saying, hey, Mare, have you ever listened to this stem? This stem during this time the heavens and you are not now going to try to compromise us in that way. The stem is an Afrikaner song. They are very proud of it. They know the context of why they had that song in the first place. So don't bring it here and try to now make black people manipulate them by saying, but listen to the words. It talks about the heavens and on sea. And you don't care. The fact this was done by them. It's not ours. So listen, good night. I love you. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Probably tomorrow I'm going to be around. And then on Thursday as well to talk more about a lot of topics. And like I said, comment, go Facebook, comment, go YouTube. Tell me what do you want to talk about. Criticize me, critique me. Doesn't matter. I love it when people critique me because at least I know where to build and how to fix what. Okay, Laban. So we'll always be to you, coming to you live on www.kgosiefm.co.za. Kgosi FM is an independent radio station online on that website. And the website there, Clinic Segongane Holdings.co.za/Kgosi FM. But if you just go to the website, you'll see the Kgosi FM tab there. You'll find us live there as well. And then Radio Garden app, finally we have put our thing in there and our radio station is working there. And we do have listeners from the Netherlands who are tuning in on the Netherlands, but tune on that frequency area, Radio Garden app. I'm very grateful for everybody who's subscribed to our YouTube channel, and please continue doing that. Yeah. And I'm on X at Segongane. That's my handle. Yago X. Kinale engwe at Kgosi FM. Kinale engwe at Segongane at KG Holding. Yes. So you go there. But Yaka is personally at Segongane. Segongane is in like at Segongane. So if you look at the logo here on the screen. Segongane, that's my surname, Segongane, at Segongane X. So please follow me there as well. Talk to me and tell me, critique me, Ben. Where's the next time to criticize you, Hashem? Critique me and tell me everything you want to tell me. That's what we're here for. Okay? We love you so much. Have a nice one. Good night. Bye-bye.
Magubeng
Have a good night.